Happy New Year and welcome back to Anthony TV. Today I'm gonna be talking about a slide that I had been working on a couple months ago, but I didn't really complete it until recently. So I want to go now that I completed it. I want to go ahead and talk about it. So I've been hearing the last time I heard um, from news about as far as conference realignment goes, um, maybe the Big 12 and the ACC possibly merging. So this it triggered an idea, and I thought how would it be if we had different variations of mergers? So that's what I'm gonna talk about in this video here, um, and then of course how it'll affect basketball and possibly baseball. But we'll get into it here. We're gonna look at how expansion it currently sits right now, how the teams are gonna or how the conferences are gonna look for 2024, and I believe for all the way up until 2027, maybe at least for the Big 12, as far as we know right now. But anyway, this is what it looks like for 2024 for the ACC. You got 18. They have 18 teams. I think they can stay intact. I think if you see the way the map looks right there, kind of bridges okay. Um, and Notre Dame's not painted in this one. They're not. They are in the ACC kind of for other sports like basketball and I believe baseball too, but football they play 5 opponents a year, so they're kind of like halfway into it, I guess. So they're not in this on this map, but you'll see in my map right now that they are. I have my variation of the of how 18 teams would look for ACC and the rest of the conferences, but we got the Big 12 here for 2024. Um, this is what it looks like right now as we stand, and then this is 2024 for the Big 10. They got their West Wing now with by getting Oregon and Washington, and we have the SEC here. There's no expansion for them because other than Texas, Oklahoma, we've known for a couple years now. So that's the official look how it's gonna look for 2024. But going beyond, I did my variation of I added a couple teams in the SEC here, and you'll see who they are right now in a minute. But I have my variation of how um, how I believe the conferences will look maybe after 2024, possibly by 25. So we can kind of look at it here. I have it divided in four: ACC, Big 12, Big 10, and SEC. We see the ACC here is in the darker blue. We got the Big 12 in the red, the Big 10 in the this frost blue here, light blue, and then we got the SEC in the gold here. So yeah, this is the list of the teams. Let's talk about the. We already have 18 for the ACC because I included Notre Dame over here, so that gives them 18. Might as well. They have Stanford, so I included them. And over here, in the Big 10, we have 18 already as well, with Oregon and Washington being added. Um, UCLA and USC made it 16, then Oregon and Washington made it 18. And then we need two more teams for the Big 10 or the Big 12 and the SEC. So let's look at the Big 12 first. I went ahead and added Oregon State and Washington State. Just because they Mountain West, they're playing Mountain West for 2024, but after that they need somewhere to be in. I think the Big 12 should still consider them in. They're good at 16, but if they're gonna be 18, like these two here, the ACC and the Big 10, might as well get. I would go ahead and get these two. You have your Pacific Coast there in the Northwest, so I would go ahead and grab that. Your Pacific time zone, because Arizona sometimes is, and sometimes they're not. So majority of the season they are, but for that last month or last half of the season they're not. So something to consider there, of course. And then over here in the SEC, interestingly enough, I have Memphis, and then I have USF. We already know Kentucky and Tennessee are a pair, so I went ahead and left that alone. We have a funky one here with Vanderbilt and South Carolina, so I went ahead and divided that up, and then so we can keep Florida, Georgia. I went ahead and did the South Florida with South Carolina. So you have the two Southern schools here, and then Memphis and Vanderbilt. They're still two Tennessee schools. The Vols play to Kentucky as their rival, so that stays. Let me know what you think. I know Tulane's another candidate. Rice. There's other teams. If the SEC ever wants to get to 18, there's still schools in their territory that they could easily swallow up and make it 18. But in this case, I picked Memphis and USF. Those are my two favorites for that, especially for that region. But you guys, let me know what you think of that. That would be mine. So we're gonna look at the first map here of the first merger, first possibility of mergers here. You have 4 conferences, so let's look at them in pairs of 2. This is the first concept. This is the ACC and the Big Ten. How their map would look. You can go and take a screenshot of that, of all the teams there. You have your SEC and ACC here. And here we have the Big Ten and the Big 12. The Big 12 and the SEC. The ACC and the Big 12, of course. You know the logos already by now. So there's that one there. Kind of like the way that looks, how that divides out, spreads out. And of course this one here, the 2 big ones here, the Big Ten and the SEC. So those would be like the 6 different variations of it. Go more into it, but I kind of want to talk about currently how the playoffs are. ESPN, I know they have it this year, and I think they have it next year as well. But I want to talk about beyond and getting the rotation of networks again. So this is kind of part of it here. I wish they could do this better. So we already know the ACC is locked with ESPN, which is we just use the antenna channels here. But anyway, we know they're locked with ESPN, but they can be on NBC because bringing Notre Dame in, they'll get that NBC package. And then with the Big 12, we know they're on Fox. ESPN, I don't know how long they're gonna be on ESPN, but I know they should stay with Fox. I would put CBS in their place. ESPN already has the SEC and the ACC here, as you see. We'll talk about the SEC right now, but I think that would be a good different mix for them. It'd be a good mix for them. Big Ten, we already know they have the CBS package, so maybe you could keep it, or I would just keep these 2 for sure because they have the Big Noon Fox and they have the primetime game on NBC. So you keep those 2 for sure. The CBS, they kind of like that noon one. They're gonna take over the SEC spot this coming year. I know they kind of shared it this season, but I wish. The SEC not being on CBS is weird, so I kept them here for now. I know we already know they're gonna be on ESPN, so yeah, I think this would be a better, more organized divide here, and then it would kind of mesh with everything else. But if they ever merge with the Big Ten, because if we're talking about the Big 12 and the ACC merging, you already have your 4 completed right there. And if you have your SEC, Big 10, that would be a better. You would have all 4 of them working there, but it should rotate. The playoffs should not just be on ESPN anymore. I don't think they won't be. I think they'll get the more other networks involved to rotate it. Playoff games too. Each network will probably get a playoff game, first round, second round, and then the semifinals and the championship game will probably rotate around. So one will be left out, but then it'll probably get the championship game the following year, or something like that. So just something to kind of keep an eye out. So I have maps of the networks of how the mergers would look. There's the conferences right there and what the networks that they would have. So that's a banner for that. All those banners have the networks on there. And then here we have the first map, ACC Big Ten. This is like the NBC map, basically. The 2 conferences that they would be showing on their network. These are the teams that would be playing on them. And then we have of course, because the ACC being with the ABC and NBC, since they share NBC with the Big Ten brings in Fox. So there could be a rotation of these 3 networks with that merger there. And then this next one here, we have SEC and ACC. They share ABC, of course. So this is the ABC map. And then we have the merger map here with this will be the 3 networks for these 2 conferences should they merge. You know, there's just concepts, a better way to how to mesh everything together. Here we have the Fox map with the Big 10 and the Big 12. And then we have this is a merger map. These would be the three networks for that merger. And then we have this one here, the Big 12 and the SEC, the CBS map. And then this one here would be the merger one for those two. And then we have a couple more here we're going to talk about. I think this one's definitely going to happen. I think we'll get this one to fall, this domino to fall, and then we'll get the Big 10, ACC. I think they finally merge together as well, and you can see that one there too. So let me know what you guys think of these concepts, guys. I think this is be a perfect way to merge it. It's kind of we're already seeing it being organized going that way, and I think that'd be a good merger. I think these two over here would be great. So I have them highlighted in purple, and then I have these two highlighted in green. So yeah, I think this is a good. This merge these two, and I think you have like your two NFL model concept here. So yeah, I think this is a great idea. You have 36 on each side, 72 teams total. There's a 12-team playoffs. The other 60 teams, better luck the following season. But there'll be plenty of bowl games. So half of them will probably be in bowl games anyway. So yeah, this is the way I would divide it. Let me know what you think of this concept, and I appreciate you guys' time, and we'll come out with more videos soon, talk about other things, of course, and it's nice to do a video. It's a fresh start to the year, and Happy New Year, everybody, and hope everybody had a good holiday. And if you like the video, please like, share is a big one. Subscribe if you haven't, and I appreciate your time again. Thanks again, and be safe. Talk to you soon.